I just came across this information. Destiny, Dr. Baba Masha, microdosing with Amanita Muscaria.
The more I think about it, the more our ancestors really had it together on multiple levels. Most importantly, and one that I like to highlight on this program, is the wellness benefits, the herbs, the meditative practices, yoga, tai chi. These are all coming back into favor in the West as healing remedies, and it looks like our ancestors had a lot of other tricks up their sleeve that we're beginning to understand. Today, we're talking about mushrooms that not only are good for healing arthritic pain, healing nervous system pain, but they're also good for organ and hormonal balance and other system balances that we're just beginning to study. We're talking about Amanita muscaria, a very common mushroom that grows around most of the world's populations. You can find it anywhere. You really can. And my guest today has made a very thorough study on the healing benefits of this miracle plant helper. Now, this isn't one of our typical psychoactive plants that we feature on the program. This is a 100% healing remedy that has been used for over 50,000 years. Apparently, they have found evidence of drawings of this mushroom in caves in Europe and in other parts of the world. And it is remarkable for its healing benefit. Now, we don't hear a great deal about it from the medical authorities because they don't want you to find a natural healing technology, because that'll take money away from their drugs and their surgeries and their radiation burning the body. I don't know what the thinking is, but it's ass backwards. So here on Destiny, I try to find people who are experts. Our guest today is a practicing physician. She is a pediatrician. Her name is Baba Masha, and she is a former resident of the country of Russia. She's been in the United States about 25, 30 years, and she has a huge number of followers who actually live in Russia. She got over 1 million followers talking about this amazing mushroom, Amanita Muscaria, and microdosing this product. Now, again, this is not for psychedelic trips. This is not for working with higher consciousness. This is a product works with the body to normalize the body's functions, including hormonal distribution, to relieve great amounts of pain in every area of the body, and to work with the nervous system. And this is just beginning to be understood. There isn't a lot of literature on it. We don't really know how it actually works on the body because we're still in the dark. But again, our ancestors used it in quantities we're just beginning to understand. As a dried, as an herb that was powdered, crushed and powdered, and consumed with food. It's actually a food by itself when it's cooked, like a regular mushroom. It's different than that, though. But this is a product, this is a natural remedy that has been on the earth. And it's one of those remedies that can actually provide a great amount of relief, comfort, and it's looking like it's one of these products that also can extend age. And we're all looking to live as long as and as healthy as we can. When you work with plant medicines, there's a spirit that connects with you. And we're going to hear about this today, how using this mushroom, Amanita Muscaria, can actually connect and focus on healing. And this is something we're also beginning to understand. Of course, when we're talking about the scientific method, they can't figure that out because you can't use the scientific method to measure consciousness. We're not there yet. But it does seem like these plants work naturally over a period of time. They benefit many, many people. And it's really a pleasure to hear from a physician whose complete take on her training reveals that although she feels there are some benefits to becoming an allopath, the vast majority of the training is disconnected from healing, disconnected from earth-based wellness, and just not what people need for complete healing. And this is what we're looking for today. Our 9 to 5 existence really drag us down and cause us to become ill. My guest today again is Dr. Baba Masha. The book is Microdosing with Amanita Muscaria: Creativity, Healing, and Recovery with the Sacred Mushroom.
This is the book that just came out, written by Baba Masha, and I ordered it on Kindle to have it right away.
I'm not anti-allopathic medicine, but I gotta tell you, most of the remedies that are used today are either toxic, damaging, or only have temporary results. And so when I can find a plant medicine or a fungal mushroom medicine that has been used and has good background and has been tested, I am looking for it. I found this book, and I should say my assistant found a new book called Microdosing with Amanita Muscaria: Creativity, Healing, and Recovery with the Sacred Mushroom. This is a really well-written book.
Thank you for inviting me, Cliff. I'm happy to share information I collected for 4 years of my Amanita Muscaria research.
Yeah, it's a fantastic read. I want to talk a little bit about you first,
Right.
Baba. You're Russian. Your training was in Russia. You have a
Right.
traditional allopathic training as a doctor. Was this discovery something that you personally were working with, that you decided that you needed to have more information and actually write a book on? Or did the book come later after personal discovery of these mushrooms?
Yes, it's just pop out on its own because in 2014, I started psychedelic plants podcast in Russian-speaking territories. So I created an animation and virtual character to broadcast harm reduction radio psychedelics. And through Baba Masha, I was sharing information about health benefits, history, medicinal use, rules, dosage, setting of psychedelic plants as ayahuasca, Salvia divinorum, iboga, magic cacti, San Pedro and peyote, cannabis, and shrooms. I was studying psychedelic plants for a couple decades. I was studying medical articles. I studied all research by companies like MAPS in California, New York, Johns Hopkins University, and other international facilities. And I was trying it on myself for a decade. For over 10 years, I was using those plants to see what do they do to human body, what do they do to human health. I have over 1,400 hours on my podcast on psychedelic plants, and I never talk about plants I didn't use myself. Only plants which I tried.
Wow.
Only. I don't talk about, okay, John said that, Masha said that, blah, blah, blah. No. And you know what? I cured a bunch of conditions, which I'm a doctor myself, right? I couldn't cure it with pharma. I just couldn't. And the more I was going with traditional pharma pills, I had a bunch of side effects, bunch of negative effects. So I just decided I'm gonna jump in medicinal plants. I was broadcasting not just about psychedelic remedies. I was broadcasting about non-psychedelic shamanic remedies like rapé, sananga. There is a bunch of them, and I tried them all.
Yeah.
And in 2018, Russian government discovered me and we banned my podcast. So
Now, did they discover you because you are on? Because podcasting is like in the air, it's everywhere. Did
was on
somebody
YouTube.
did
YouTube.
did the KGB or somebody see you and go, okay, she's really
Yeah.
illegal,
Yeah.
very, she's lawless. She's a lawless Russian, right? Is that how they looked at you?
You know how they presented me as a foreign agent, which is working with a group of shady, like CIA group, which trying to bring Russia to insanity.
Yeah.
They wrote me because I was on YouTube. I was talking with different voice, with very funny voice.
Oh, you had a voice changer so that it wasn't your natural voice.
And in the beginning, it was just speaking mouth, animated speaking mouth, and a black background. So they shut me down in 2018. And I was like, okay, fine. I already put a lot of work. I had over 3 million views.
I heard that. It's amazing. Yeah.
And I had 350 podcasts. But then my followers, they start saying, Masha, don't leave us, just open another channel on YouTube. I said, all right, okay. And you know, I created a new channel on YouTube and I set it on my old one. And in the morning, I was ready to download the new podcast, and I had 800 subscribers already on the empty channel.
So it's all in Russia, right? It's all in Russian language.
Yeah.
So
because, Cliff, it was a big mistake for Russian government to ban me because it's giving me some legitimacy between young people. And they said, all right, if she's banned, we probably should listen, because my audience tripled.
That's amazing. So you have about 1 million viewers now, right, in Russia?
Not subscribers, but totally on 2 channels, I have 7 million views.
That is spectacular.
Yeah.
That is spectacular, Baba. I want to congratulate you. Well, let's talk about this mushroom, Amanita Muscaria. I just finished a book on cannabis. It's called Cannabis is Sexual Ecstasy for Men. By the way, it's the same publisher. And we're in America, and you know, we had the drug age during Tim Leary, and you refer to people like Terrence McKenna, who I knew, brilliant man. And these people were early innovators of using these psychedelic drugs for not only exploration, but I want you to talk a little bit about this mushroom, because we haven't had anybody on the program talking about microdosing mushrooms. Now, what is, where is this mushroom found? Is it found in specific parts of the world? Talk about where it can be found.
This mushroom is spread all over the world because my research from 2018 up to 2020 includes all continents. Mm-hmm. I have people from Eastern Europe, from Siberia, from I don't think I have anybody from Africa, North America, South America. It's spread all over. And at first, and it was very popular, and it's a center of myths and legends of the
indigenous people.
Yes, people of Siberian tribes, Chukchi, Karyaki, Kamchadals. And Amanita Muscaria was used as a medicine, as entheogen for rituals, as a food source and ceremonial drink. And I was born on that land. Mm-hmm. I was born in the middle of last century in this area. And by that time, Soviets deleted everything about that mushroom, everything. They destroyed the tribes. They destroyed the myths, the legend. They destroyed the language because they were taking children and putting them in a foster families, in a foster houses, just destroy the whole thing.
Why
And I
would they
was-
why would they want to destroy the indigenous people of Russia?
You know, that's a kind of imperial habit of Russian just to put more territories to a Russian empire, delete all the cultural differences, make them. It's not just that area. You see what's going on Ukraine. They try and kill all Ukrainians.
Yeah, it's
They
pretty
try and
bad.
delete their cultures, their language, and when you're asking why. So the Soviets started it in 1928. Stalin started putting small territories left and right, and that's what happened with the Siberian tribes. By the time I was born, nobody knew what it is. And my family was mushroom hunters. You know, after Second War, we had not much to eat. So we were picking berries, mushrooms, and my parents told me, don't even look in that direction, which is funny. But the first published documents about Amanita Muscaria was published in the middle of 18th century by Imperial Academy of Science in St. Petersburg in 1755. It's a 2-volume book. Professor Krashenikov. He was a participant of Great Northern Expedition, and it was 1733, 1744. And afterward, we have Steller and then Lindenau, Merrick. A lot of people were describing medicinal qualities, taking small doses of Amanita Muscaria and feeling extraordinary lightness, joy, and sense of energetic well-being.
Right.
So in 2014, I read the book Professor James Fadiman. You probably know him.
Oh, he is the the endorser of microdosing psychedelics.
Yeah, he's a brilliant guy, and
he's up here. Yeah.
Yeah, he lives here in California. I read his book about microdosing, and I tried magic mushrooms, and it went really well. Yeah, I'm telling you, it was like some miracle thing. And then I published that information after I tried it for 6 months. I published it on my podcast. And then I started getting letters from people saying, Masha, we're taking these little dosages of Amanita Muscaria, and what we have this, and that. And being a traditional, like a normal doctor, I was like, no, forget about it.
Don't do it.
It was 2 years. 2 years. My followers were trying to convince me to try, and I did. Finally, I did. 2016, I had a very bad condition with my back. Mm-hmm. I basically could not work because I injured myself in the gym. So I went to Pacific Coast forest, found few mushrooms. I made the tincture, and for last 6 years, I don't have pain in my back.
Oh,
I forgot I have a back. I can hike for 20 miles. I go to gym several times a week. I forgot what it is. And then I created first group of 67 people in 2018. They were from different countries. They didn't know anything about what do I do. They didn't know each other. I was talking with them personally in dynamic, collecting information. And I put it up, and in 2019, I put it out because they all were giving me the same, exactly the same information, plus my own experience.
Okay.
And it blew up Russia. It blew up Russia, and in 6 months, I had 3,000 people wrote me, and by 2022, I have 12,000 people wrote me about the experience, and only 6,000 about microdosing. There is some people who tried it as a psychedelic agent. Mm-hmm. So that's the story how I come up with it.
That's amazing. Now,
Yeah.
one of the things you write about that I found quite compelling is that you report that there are cave paintings 50,000 years old that actually show this mushroom in good
Exactly.
detail. That is
Yeah.
amazing by itself. So this has been a shamanistic tool
Right,
for thousands and thousands of years.
right.
How do we believe that they prepared it? Was it dried and then trimmed? And it's not just the top, it's the stem as well, right?
No. We don't use the stem because there is a scientific research, there is articles about it. The stem and the cup, they're totally different in chemicals. They are.
Oh, they
So
are. Okay.
They are. We're using only cups as a medicine and stems. Me personally, and a lot of people on my followers, we're using it as a food because all chemicals in Amanita Muscaria, they are water soluble.
Okay.
So if you soak the stems for 48 hours, changing the water, you just can use it as a normal mushrooms. You can fry them, you can make soup, you can freeze it for later use. And that's why, because to do that research, I created 2 live channels, live chats. I was managing one, and my assistant Thomas was managing 2. It was 8,000 people alive.
Mhm.
We were chatting every day, 300-400 posts. I use that dose, I use that, I have this, because nobody know how much you have to take. So for 4 years, in my book, there is information only about first 2 years of research because I submitted the manuscript to the publisher and I continued for 2 more years.
Okay.
So we find out what's the dosage, what time of intake, because if you take it in the morning or evening, it has different effects. What's the forms of use? What's the goal of use? And we were exploring the range of diseases, what might be corrected. I'm not saying curing, I'm saying corrected.
Okay.
Let's say psoriasis. There is no cure for psoriasis.
The skin condition, psoriasis.
Yeah. It can go in a long remission and then come back, go in remission. So we find out Amanita Muscaria is about 73% putting psoriasis in remission. And I have a bunch of photographs. We didn't, because the book is big, it's 360 pages. And I have 100 pages of photographs, burns, scars, psoriasis, dermatitis, broken extremities. Maybe I will publish it later, I'm not sure. So we were exploring stability of microdosing effects. We were exploring analgesic properties and individual dose and optimal form of reception. We take the mushrooms, we dry them up at the temperature of 40-45 degrees, and then we store it in a glass jar, and we can powder it and take 0.5 gram in the morning and evening, or in the morning only or evening. Because if you take it in the morning on empty stomach, it will give you energy, nice mood. It will take away your negative chatterbox in the head, on your negative thoughts, and you like elevated your light. You don't have any hallucination or anything like that. It's like energy boost.
Okay, so you're creating a powder, but how is it applied? How are you consuming the powder?
You wait, you get small scales, and you wait 0.5 gram.
But how are you consuming it? You just adding it?
You just put it in your mouth and drink water.
You just dissolve it in your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just put it in your mouth, drink some water, and that's it.
So,
And
so it's
yeah.
not. Is it lethal in high doses? I mean, you're talking about people having bad reactions and
it's legal, but
lethal, like dangerous.
lethal? No.
It's not lethal.
No,
Okay.
nobody died.
Okay.
Nobody died from Amanita Muscaria. We go for 11, 12 hours of insanity, total insanity. We could end up in psychiatric ward, and we're gonna shoot the haloperidol in their buttocks,
to get them to wake
and
up.
it's gonna be a horrible experience. So if people got it once, nobody wanna come back to that.
Okay.
It's one time. It's one time for everybody.
Let's talk about the benefits. Now, I want to get into some other specifics. In fact, I want to talk about your
All right.
project, Amanita, which we'll talk about in a minute. But from a pharmacological point of view, you write that it's good for Parkinson's, which is a neural dysfunction of the body, also Huntington's, and fascinating enough, you also talk about schizophrenia. So without going through a whole list, because you have a whole list of things, what are some of the top benefits that Amanita Muscaria?
All right. I will tell you the winners. The discovery which I made for 4 years of research is Amanita Muscaria microdoses take away any addiction, any. Heroin, methadone, amphetamine, cocaine, whatever, opioids, prescription opioids, or any opioids, it just take it away in 86% of people wrote me, and it's 500 people wrote me about their addictions, 86%. When Amanita Muscaria microdoses restores sleep. It's not a sleepy pill. You take it and you sleep well. It's restoring your sleep. You do the course 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You take a break. You take 3 weeks again, and then you sleep without Amanita. Depression is 80%. Alcohol addiction 86%. And
Wow.
For tincture, it takes away arthritis pain, including rheumatoid arthritis. It doesn't cure arthritis, Cliff. It doesn't cure
treats
it.
the pain.
It takes inflammation. It gives you more, movements. Yeah, but it doesn't cure, but it takes away pain. And if you use it constantly, you can do the compress, or the compress is better. You put it 3-4 hours overnight, and when you start using it less and less and less, it doesn't cure arthritis, but it takes away pain in the long run.
Let me stop you for a minute, Baba.
Okay.
Is your medical degree recognized in the United States?
No, I never wanted. I have to go through school again.
You wouldn't be. So you would have to go back to the beginning to get an MD in the United States?
Yeah.
Okay. So because I'm wondering, with your research, and you've done this monstrous survey with your listeners who are taking it for a variety of conditions, I mean, this would be wonderful. And of course, you have your published book. So I guess you're just going to have to slowly emerge through the Western culture, United States, Europe, and so on, with the material in the book, right? Because I don't know if you would be sponsored by a university, or you could be, I guess, huh? Is that what your goal is?
No, Cliff, I have no goals. This book was not planned. This research was not planned. I was just doing because I liked it. It gave me something to do. I already quit my podcast. Baba Masha is dead.
Oh,
and I'm,
no.
And I'm a Baba Masha representative. I'm not I'm not selling anything. I'm not pushing new product. Everything here in the book. I don't care what next gonna be. And I already have a PhD. I was 33 when I got my PhD in Russia. I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be in a group of people conducting clinical blind studies. Okay. I don't want to do anything with it. I already have new project. I'm a sculptor, I'm a painter, I'm a video producer, I'm a president of a music recording company. I have a lot to do, and it's not connected to Baba Masha. Baba Masha did her study. I put it all out. I wrote the book. That's it. Big period.
Wow. It's such a groundbreaker, Baba. I mean, I could see a lot of pharmaceutical companies being concerned about what you're reporting, because it really helps people get off the drugs, get off the toxic remedies that are terrible.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about some of the problems, because you do say that it's good for schizophrenia, but
No, Cliff, no.
it's not good for mental illness.
No, mental illness, no. Not in the kitchen alone, taking Amanita microdoses, maybe under surveillance of professionals, maybe.
Okay.
But not on the kitchen alone in the house, because people cannot,
But then again, you say it's great for depression, which is a major psychological issue, especially in the United States, where this is one of the main areas where the allopaths here, and I'm talking about the United States, will prescribe these very toxic drugs to stop depression. So you're saying that Amanita is excellent for depression. So what I mean, does it is it an artificial high that
it doesn't give you high? Cliff, it doesn't give you high.
What is the effect?
The effect, you have motivate. When you take microdose of Amanita Muscaria, you don't have immediate effect. It's a very, very tiny little dosages you take every day, morning and night, and you write down everything what happened with you before. And when you look at yourself 3 weeks later, and you discover you have motivation, you want to take your bike, you want to go walk in the forest, you want to do something, you're laughing, you stop at your chatterbox, you don't have negative thoughts, and you actually nicer to people, and you kind of don't react on idiots around, you like balance, you happy, and you want to live your life.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Sounds like it's doing some subtle hormonal corrections.
Very subtle, because when I observe the range of conditions, they are so different. It's immune diseases, it's hormonal diseases, like, let's say, hot flashes. We have 80% hot flashes. It's totally hormonal, right?
Yeah.
Menopausal women. And I'm not saying it cures the diseases, but it elevates the symptoms without negative effects.
Okay.
Very slow, and you have to do it couple courses, maybe couple years to keep it in a bay,
Yeah.
It's not like a cure for everything, and I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, okay, Amanita Muscaria cures Parkinson's disease. No, but Parkinson patients, they have lightness, they stop thinking about their disease, they are motivated, they start talking with their family, the tremor going away, they start feeling better. In general, it doesn't cure Parkinson's disease.
Yeah.
Not Alzheimer's disease. And for elder people, let's say over 80, God, it's a great help in improving their quality of life. Because the pain goes away, they become more happy, more cheerful, they start talking with their kids, they don't react on negative events, and they have more energy.
You're a scientist. You're an MD.
In my heart.
Well, I mean, even though you're not practicing anymore, you still have this lengthy training. Obviously there isn't anyone making this for the masses. People have to make it themselves, right?
Yeah.
So And your book talks about that, and the book's wonderful because it lists all the benefits, all the positives for physical problems, but also emotional problems too.
Emotional problems.
What I want to
right.
ask you is, a lot of the psychedelics, these plant medicines, including cannabis, can be activated and added stronger when you have intention. I intend for this to happen. Does that still work with Amanita? Can you, when you're taking it,
Yeah,
you have to set a program in your mind by saying,
yeah, exactly.
talk about that.
Yes, for example, if a person is an alcoholic, drinking for 20 years, if this person doesn't want to quit, nothing gonna happen. If this person firmly say, I want to quit, I just can't, I physically can't do that, then Amanita can help. Because some people was trying giving small Amanita portions to people without knowing, doesn't work. The person have to have desire to quit. If any addiction, any opioids, any amphetamine, cocaine, even to marijuana, you have to want to quit. You have to have intention. And I advise everybody, before people take Amanita microdoses, write down why you want to take it. Why? What you want to improve? Your sleep, quality of life, your depression condition, let's say gastritis or whatever. We have a great numbers for adenoma, you know? So you just write down everything you have, you take the course and you look back and see, does it help you or it's not? So you can take consistently couple courses, 3, 4, 5, not more than 6 months with breaks. And then you will see, does it work for you or not? Okay. And I'm not advising anybody to buy Amanita online, because anybody can go in the forest and all you need about 10 cups. That's enough. But buying online.
Just 10 caps is all you need?
Yeah. You don't need much. 10 cups will be about 20 grams, 25 grams, and you take by 0.5. 0.5.
And you list this in the book, right? This is all detailed.
Everything is in the book.
Baba Masha, the name the author of this book goes by, says its contents came about through a series of mystical accidents. While there is a certain honest humility in that description, she does not give herself nearly enough credit. This is not only a book of discovery, but a wonderful example of how actual discovery happens, how much work there is to bring it about, and what it is in a life that makes a person sensitive or able to appreciate the import of the new knowledge when it appears. As important as being able to recognize what you have found is to have the capacity to follow up on the initial discovery and to keep opening other unanticipated doors. Baba Masha has done all that and more. The book details thousands of healings that are not only unusual, but, as you will see, invaluable. To recognize them, Masha had to overcome the most difficult of all obstacles. A strong, well-educated and substantiated disbelief in what you are being told.
My guest today is Dr. Baba Masha, who has written a book called Microdosing with Amanita Muscaria, which is a mushroom found quite easily in most of the world. Amanita is, in many ways, is a fascinating mushroom. What do we think the ancients did with it? Would you say that it was used only medicinally, or was it used as part of a daily routine to maintain an equilibrium?
They were is it described in a book of Professor Krashenikov in 1755. They said people were using it for celebration, like alcohol. They were, and it was really, really expensive. It was exchanged for gold, for furs, and it was really expensive. So only rich people could afford it. And in a Professor Krashenikov book, he says, poor people have to drink the urine of rich people to get the same result.
Oh my!
I'm telling you,
In
you
the
have to read that book.
1700s? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it must have been very expensive if that's the case.
It
Oh my
was
God!
expensive because they didn't have alcohol. It was only thing they can digest and be like, yeah, celebrating whatever holidays they have, even if I don't know if they had any. And it was medicinal in a small quantities. It's in the book also.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Siberian tribes, they had really, really limited natural supplies. And they were using Amanita so widely. It's in several books. In 18th century, people were describing and we were witnessing that in a Great Northern expedition.
Let me stop you right there.
Uh-huh.
A lot of the psychedelics that we have on the program, like ayahuasca, it's a psychological, spiritual journey, and it opens the door for other dimensional beings and experiences to come through. I think in a positive setting, but sometimes it's negative because the person needs to kind of clear things out. Amanita seems more purely medicinal, or is there other effects that are psychedelic that are used by people who want to touch the higher levels of consciousness?
I want to tell you what ayahuasca is not just a mind plant. It's really good detox plant. It kills parasites. They're using it for curing some conditions. And when you take it, you cleanse yourself inside and out, in body and mind. Even you mentioned before microdosing ayahuasca, it works. It works. I just never talk about it because it's a public knowledge and everybody can research it on Google. It's a lot of evidence on it. Amanita, it's strictly just a herb. It's a medicinal mushroom.
Okay.
I'm not recommending use it for psychedelic trips because it's very dangerous. It's not what Amanita gonna kill person. The person under influence of Amanita gonna kill himself.
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't die from intoxication. People can damage themselves. I cannot show you the pictures I have, but I have like flat, bloody faces, just one big wound, hitting themselves on a wall.
Yeah.
And I have so many audio reports, written reports, because I was conducting 5-6 hours live streams with people, and they were sharing their experience in front of 800, 900,000 people, and it's all recorded.
Wow.
And it's not, I was sitting somewhere in a bunker and conducting this research. It was totally public. And if anyone will die or damage brain or liver, let's say, we will all know about it. 8,000 people were involved in a live discussion every day for 3 years before I shut down the whole research. It was all public and people were so nice. It's public research. I was just conducting the whole thing. I didn't discover anything. I was systematizing, putting it in a folder. I created 150 questions with answers already. Did it help? No results, or I have negative results. I systematized what I was given from my followers. It was totally public work.
So, as a researcher, Baba, do you see this, if it were to be, I don't know, I don't want to say licensed, but we have to deal with the FDA here in America.
No, you cannot license nature.
I know.
Why I did it.
I know. The thing is, though, for this to be widely used, you know, you're asking everyday Joe to go out in the forest and find mushroom caps. And a lot of people are like, I can't be bothered, Baba. I cannot be bothered. You know, send me your tincture, the Baba tincture.
I will. I will send you.
I'm saying just generally, I'm speaking.
Oh, no. I'm not selling anything. I'm an older woman. I go for 20 miles walking in the mountains in the Pacific coast to get myself few amanitas. I'm physically not capable of picking it up and giving it to our people, selling it. It's not about that. It's totally not about that, because this information came to me from people and I don't want to sell it. It's not for sale.
You're giving people the technique on how to get it.
No. You know why I started that research? Because Amanita Muscaria could not be monetized. It cannot be monetized. You cannot take Amanita, just mush it up, put it in the fields and give it to everybody. You have to find individual dose, because with time, with procuring, with storing, it's changing its chemical properties.
Interesting. So it's individual. You find your own mushroom,
totally,
and it's meant for you. And wow. So let's go way back again. If these nomadic people around the world 50,000 years ago were using this, is your belief that it was, again, as part of their medical arsenal to heal dysfunction, hormonal problems, pain, whatever? This is really the strength of this mushroom, is that it is a serious plant medicine, isn't it?
I want to say something about, let's say if we take you're a person, you're a human, and you have chemical compounds. You have this and this and this, you have iron, you have potassium, you have whatever. If I put all these chemicals separated in a bowl, it's not going to create you. Right?
Right, yeah.
So if you take main compounds of Amanita, ibotenic acid or muscimol, put it together and give it to a person, it's not going to do anything like Amanita. And 1,500 years ago, people have, you know, we had our Ayurveda, we have Hippocrates, we have a bunch of wisdom men which started medicine as it was started, I mean, centuries ago. We were doing it by trying this, trying that, recording the effects, just like I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because remember we were using like frogs and rats and teeth of sharks, whatever, grounded, Remember all those witch doctors we used like lead and mercury and whoa, when you start reading about what did we use, even like 500 years ago, you're like, oh my God. So it was all trials, mistakes, and good part of it. That's what I did for 4 years, because I was not looking for a positive data. I was looking for data. It doesn't matter positive or negative, because when I submitted manuscript to the publisher, I conducted 2 years research on animals in my farm. I got guinea pigs. I give him small dosages of Amanita with water as a drink. And I have 5 generations of guinea pigs consuming Amanita Muscaria for 2 years, because I have to prove myself it's not poison.
Yeah.
And I did it, because if my guinea pigs gonna all die or gonna
have a neurological problem,
and 2 heads, I will go publicly and say, okay, people, stop it. That's what I do. And I will put the pictures of sick animals. Only what I find out in my animal research, you cannot give Amanita Muscaria microdoses to pregnant women.
Right.
And when they breastfeeding. So I have four conditions: pregnancy, breastfeeding, mental diseases, and kidney stone disease, because Amanita microdosing moving the stones.
Wow.
Only 4 conditions which Amanita could not be used in microdoses.
So what do you see this research that you have done as a future tool for the future generations, the next generations? Is this something that you would see kind of like a home medical kit where you go out when you're not well and you get some mushroom caps and you create a tincture or a dried product to consume? Is that what you're looking at? What do you see the future? Talk about the future of this.
I'm not looking in the future because I live today. I don't care what we're gonna do.
Upcoming generations, though, Baba.
Cliff, it's rediscovering. It's not I discovered that. I rediscovered the ancient way of using that mushrooms, because people did it before so many years ago, and I just rediscovered the dose, how to use, and what effects it gives to human health. But for a future, every time I go skiing in South Tahoe, I have a bottle of tincture with me. I'm telling you, I have it in a car in case I'm gonna have pain in my back or my knees. I always have it. All my friends who are divers or hikers or people who are very physically active, they all have Amanita tincture for topical application. It takes itching from poison oak, from mosquito bites. I want to tell you last experience I conducted 2 weeks ago. I live on my farm and I have 2 acres of land, and I grow my own food. I grow my own animals. I don't go to the store to buy food. I have everything of my own. So I got bit by wasps in both hands. So my hands were like size of
swollen.
Yeah. So I decided, all right, very good, because I got beaten first time in both hands. So I was trying to prove myself on my right hand because I work with it. I put a big compress and the pain stopped. Pain, swallowing, and redness and swell didn't go away, but pain got away in 25 minutes.
Wow.
And my fingers, I could not bend them, but I could feel the pain. This hand, 12 hours. 12 hours, it was growing, and allergy were going to my elbow, and it was so horrible. Because I was trying to see how long it's gonna stay. Maybe it's placebo, maybe it doesn't work, maybe I imagine it. No, I have to get up in the middle of the night, put the compress on my left hand, 25 minutes, I was sleeping.
So you were the test subject for that experiment.
I am a test subject. I was tasting everything before I went public. Yeah.
That's a tough thing to do, Baba. One hand gets the Amanita, the other hand is the experiment without anything.
I never talk about any effects of anything if I didn't try it on myself, because I thought if I'm gonna die, that's what my destiny. But I never talk about anything I didn't try on my own.
Okay, let me ask you. Yes. Let me ask you, because you're a physician and you've worked with people now, not anymore, but you did. Pick the top 2 healing effects for women, and pick 2 for men that you think are outstanding regarding Amanita. In other words, a woman's condition, perhaps it's menopause or whatever, but pick 2 topics that you think this mushroom works perhaps better than the pharmaceuticals that your previous industry would recommend.
All right. Restoring the sleep, depression, alcohol, addiction or any other addiction is a painkiller in a tincture form, hypertension, taking inflammation from any kind of wounds.
Okay, let me just stop you. Let me stop you real quickly. I should have finished the statement. Pick two for women, two for men, two, and give us a case study without naming names. In other words, people that wrote in and said, Baba, I had this condition, and after 2 months, I used the Amanita, and this is what happened.
For women, hot flashes. For men, adenoma. It takes away adenoma symptoms. It doesn't cure adenoma. It elevates the symptoms. It's for example, if male has an adenoma, the symptom is when he go to the bathroom, he cannot pee, and then you take 3 weeks.
Oh, wait a minute. You're talking about prostate issues?
Prostate issues.
What did you call it before? Adenoma?
Adenoma, yeah. Adenoma is a tumor. It's not a cancer. It's a tumor on a prostate, and it's squish urine tract.
Oh, I hear you. So benign prostasis. So let's go back to that real quickly. So in other words, someone's having trouble urinating because his prostate is swollen and it's collapsing the urethra. So just drops are coming in. So rather than a surgical procedure or a drug that has limited or problematic effects, you're saying the Amanita will shrink the prostate enlargement, or what? How does it work?
It doesn't cure the condition. It takes away the symptoms if you use it. I have guys using a compress on the lower part of the body and taking microdoses.
Mm-hmm.
It have to be researched, because I just named the positions, which it's not like I put this question out of my head.
Yeah.
If you read the book, I have about 1,000 letters in my computer. I have 12,000 of reports, right? I just pick up the best ones. And if 10 people write me about great effects of Amanita microdosing with the prostate problems, I put this question for discussion.
I love that. Yeah.
That's how it was conducted.
Okay.
If several women write me reports, Masha, I was taking Amanita for 3, 4, 5 months. My hot flashes got away. I put this question for discussion. I put it in a live chat. I said, people who had the same, write me. Did it help or not? And I put this question for voting. Did it help? No effects, or I have negative result. That's how it was conducted.
Yeah, a simple survey. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, it's just a random survey. It's not clinical study. It's not like double
blind study.
Placebo. Yeah. It's a random study of Amanita users all over the world, which is make it so great. It's people from every continent.
I love that.
Different part of our planet. It was
so we're gonna get firm with you again, and I'm gonna ask you to present another male issue that is helped by Amanita, and then we're gonna do 2 females.
That's pretty much.
Prostate is excellent. What's another one for men?
That's it.
Really?
Everything is for both, like arthritis, pain, and depression and addiction.
Well, I mean, you mentioned menopausal problems for women.
Menopausal, yeah.
So if hot flash is one, what about some of the other effects that premenopausal women go through? Does it balance their hormones?
I don't know. I didn't test the hormones. I didn't run the hormone tests. It just effects. They stop being psychotic. They don't have this temperature rising and going down.
So the mood changes are helped.
The mood changing, yeah. They can work. They don't try to kill their husbands. They feel good. They can work and they can sleep, and they don't have those chills of rising temperature, sweating, and Plus, for women is for ladies who have menstrual pain, just a regular menstrual pain. It
The
takes
cramping,
away
the cramping. So it helps with cramping?
cramps.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Why do you think, I mean, early pharmacology actually went into the jungle. In fact, it still happens today. They go to the Amazonian jungle and they'll find a healing root or leaf or flower. And then all of a sudden they want to make it the artificial compounds available, so they can mass produce it. This is how drugs are manufactured. Why can't we follow? And I'm talking to you more as a physician. Why can't we follow more of the natural healing techniques rather than create these potent toxic drugs that are damaging us?
Money.
Okay,
Money.
I kind of knew that, but I thought you could say, Cliff, is because we just don't want to sit still and have our body correct itself after a period of time.
Yeah, like you said, people are so lazy, they're busy, they don't have time to take care of their health, and they go to pharma and start eating those pills. And I wanna remind you, pills, our modern medicine, how old? It's not even 100 years old. Not even 100 years old, right?
Pharmacology, yeah.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, I went to Mexico, high elevated jungle. There is a tribe over there of witches. They called Nahua. There is a book of American writer. It's War of Witches. So I read this book and I went there to those jungle. And we hired a person who is a witch doctor. He was about 40 years old, male. His mother, his grandmother was giving him all the knowledge about plants. Cliff, I want to tell you, Finn, I was going through the jungle with him for a week, and he showed me each plant in this jungle is a medicine. He was telling me things, and as a doctor, I couldn't believe it. He showed me the scar on his arm so deep, because as a surgeon, I can see how deep it was, and it's no stitches. And I said, what did you do? He took couple leaves, mixed it together, and it's created green goo. You put it in a wound, it's antiseptic, and you wrap it with a fabric, and it heals. He showed me the condition of his patient. You can't believe it. I want to move there and I want to study it just for myself out of my curiosity. Yeah. You live in an area where each plant is medicinal. Isn't it like story tale? And when he show me vitiligo, there is a disease of vitiligo when people have white spots on the skin, and it's not affected by UV, it cannot be brown. It's area where it's just white spots.
Is it a skin condition, or is it showing something that's more internal?
No. It's a skin condition. Nobody knows why, and nobody knows the cure. It's called vitiligo.
Oh, vitiligo. Okay.
Michael Jackson had it.
Oh, skin discoloration.
Skin discoloration. They have it. And when he showed me the plant and said, this is that, I said, no. And he started showing me his own body, because I saw the disease so many times, and I see it's become lighter and lighter and lighter, some parts of the body, because you can see the age affected. And you see how skin is changing color to normal gradually, and some areas are still affected. I was so surprised. You can't believe how I was like, oh my God. Everything I learned in the medical school for 12 years just went through.
That's a great story. I thought you were going to say Amazon, but you're saying the jungles of Mexico, which...
Mexico, yeah.
Yeah. Was it Guatemala or was that Mexico, Central Mexico?
It was Mexico. It was northern east Mexico. The Mayans lived there, and 2,000 years ago they moved out, and this tribe of witches came there, and they have their own language. We didn't have roads to that place. Only, I think 10 years ago, it started being accessible to our people. It was very secluded area. It's about 100 feet elevation. I forgot what's the name. I have it in my.
Fascinating. Fascinating.
And they speak their own language, and I had a translator with me. And
are they Mayan? Or are they separate from Maya? Are they Maya?
No. They replaced the Maya. When Maya left.
Okay, so they're a different native tribe.
They're different tribe, and they called Nahua.
Nahua.
N-A-H, Nahua. They have their own language, own culture. It's very poor area. They eat what they grow, just like me in California. And it's a beautiful country.
Wow. The book's called Microdosing with Amanita Muscaria, Creativity, Healing, and Recovery with the Sacred Mushrooms. My guest today has been Baba Masha. She is a MD. As we leave you, Baba, what do you want to tell us about the book? Why should people be buying this book? It just came out. Came out, August. So
today.
We're just,
Today?
Today
it was available on Amazon. Amazon was shipping because I have big pre-sale. I have over 100,000 people because I wrote that book in Russian first. And I gave it to my people for free.
Wow.
I have 200,000 downloads in the first 6 months.
Hey, while we're at it, what's your website so people who are interested?
No. Baba Masha doesn't exist. No contacts, no consulting. No
okay, well, that's even more reason to get the book then, my friends.
Yeah.
Microdosing with Amanita Muscaria.
Because my social life is not connected to Baba Masha. I don't want to answer 200 questions every morning. I want to live my life. Baba Masha, send me Amanita, send me the tincture. I read your book. I have a question. Read it. Everything is here.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, you can get it on Amazon now, and I guess wherever.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last thing as we are leaving, Baba, what do you want to leave us with regarding your work?
What I want to leave.
Any thoughts? Any final thoughts that you would like to give us on
any thoughts? I just wish everybody be healthy as a physician and a doctor. It's in my blood. And I give my, when you finish medical school, you give, what do you call it in English? You give your, you swear to Hippocrates,
you give your oath.
Oath, right. So when I went on my psychedelic journeys, Hippocrates came to me and he said, Masha, wake up. Do something. You give this oath. You have to do something. That's why it's free for everybody. And I don't want to sell anything. I did it for people who speak Russian. Everything was free. All information, all data, the book is free. Everything is free. Just do it. If you love yourself, take care of your health yourself.
That's wonderful. Right? Wonderful. Thank you. For those of you listening, I should mention, I'm a little naive. Baba obviously is her pseudonym, her stage name, and she is appearing with an outfit on that kind of disguises her. Because in Russia, if she were to go back, she'd probably be thrown in jail. She'd be incriminated, and God knows you'd be sent to Siberia to probably live out the final days of your life, right?
For lifetime.
So that's why there's no website. That's why there's no contact. And she has generously written this book, and it's filled with anecdotes and also the different reactions people have had to this mushroom and their personal stories. And so it's very well written. It's from my own publisher, Park Street, but that's Inner Traditions.